So I want to talk about something that I have talked about in the past. I've talked about it on other videos, I've talked about it in the podcast, and a lot of you guys know where I'm coming from. Some of you agree, some of you may not, but I want to really put something out there in light of some new information that's been released to the public from Florida. The corrections facility, the prison, where the shooter from Florida is staying. They've just recently announced that the Florida shooter has been getting hundreds and hundreds of fan letters. Now, they haven't been showing him these letters. They don't want to encourage him, make him feel like he did something great. But think about that. A mass killer, a sick individual, possibly an evil individual, committed an atrocity, killed 17 people in cold blood in a school. And he gets fan letters. Why is that? Why is it that in this country, where we now have less than half the gun crime and murder rate as we had 30 years ago, even though we have almost 3 times as many guns in the hands of civilians in this country, why is it that one type of crime that has gone up slightly, not as much as the media will portray, but has gone up slightly, is these mass shootings by these disturbed individuals? I mean, overall, we are far safer than we were 30 years ago, but there is this one type of crime that has gone up slightly. And why is that? Well, obviously it's not the gun. Again, more guns, we have less crime, we have less murders overall. That's just a fact. Anybody can look it up. It's hard data and statistics. Also, per capita, we used to have more guns in this country. A higher percentage of Americans used to own guns. All the way back to the 80s, the 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, back to the founding of this country when every single person had a gun. So it's not the gun. Is it mental illness? I mean, surely that plays a part. Yes, of course it does. These are mentally disturbed individuals. Some of them may be straight up evil, but either way, they're mentally disturbed. Surely that plays a part, right? But wait, there's always been mentally disturbed people, and throughout time, I mean, these people have done bad things. So what is it? It's not the guns. It's not really the mental illness. Maybe it's how we handle the mental illness, but even then, sometimes these things happen. So what's the inspiration behind it? Why are these things happening when all these other factors seem to not be, well, really responsible for them? It's the media. It's a 24-hour news cycle that's been slowly growing since the 1970s. 1980s, they got bigger. In the 90s, they saw a big surge, a big boom. In the 2000s, they cemented their place. And today they're everywhere. News media is everywhere. It's on your phone, it's on your computer, it's on your newspaper, and your radio, it's on your TV. It's everywhere. And there are all these different voices pushing different agendas, competing for you, for your eyes, your ears, competing to get information into your head. And there's a lot of money and a lot of agenda rolled up into this empire, this whole section of our social media and just societal consciousness. And it's arguing for space, and it feeds off of death and destruction. It sensationalizes everything. This kid who committed this atrocity in Florida, they put his name up in lights for the last month and a half. You don't think he was inspired by the last person that did it? Or the person before that? Or the person before that? Because of the media attention, the way the media feeds off of these stories and practically makes these people famous? Not practically. They've made him famous. He now gets fan letters in prison. Now look, I'm not saying that the media has blood on its hands. The media is doing what it does. It's almost not even a person or a collection of people anymore. It's almost like this out-of-control monster rolling through society, feeding off of us, off the people that it wants to take advantage of to grow its own power. It's kind of like our government in that way. You know, the press used to mean something. It was about reporting the truth and keeping people informed. And today that's dead, because today, what the media, what the press really wants to do is they want to make killers famous. They want to push their agendas. They want to make money. And they don't care about you. And they don't really care about the death and destruction that they feed off of.